Well, doing this very special episode of Dave's Gone By has thrilled me from my head to my toes. As a matter of fact, we have I know, I'm sorry. We have in front of us a guy named Tom Toce. He is a songwriter and also he puts together these wonderful playlists of popular music and cabaret songs that he shares with folks. So, Tom, first of all, welcome back to the Neighborhood. How you been?
Thank you, Dave. I've been just fine, is the short version of that. Just
Okay.
fine.
Well, fine these days. That's good to hear from anybody, really.
Right.
So, so what have you been working on very specifically, like the past couple of months?
Okay. Well, I'm a songwriter, but inevitably these days, especially, you got to get good at a lot of different things. So I'm partly a videographer, a playlist curator, a promoter, a cabaret producer, a little bit of everything. That's what I'm finding I'm doing.
Oh, so what people have you produced and where in doing shows, like at in
Yeah,
Gainesville or yeah,
a lot of little clubs in New York City, including 54 Below. I just came off a show last night at 54 Below. It's
yeah.
an annual show that I do called the Harvard-Yale Regatta Cantata, and you'll appreciate this, punster as you are. The Harvard-Yale Regatta, you may know, is a boat race. The Harvard-Yale Cantata is a contest of songs
Right.
between Harvard alums and Yale alums.
We actually probably have a mutual friend or acquaintance in common because a friend of mine who did the backing for Rabbi Saul Solomon's stage show Shalom Dammit is a guy named Richard Shore, and he used to be the pianist at a couple. You know him?
I do. He was the music director for the Harvard team about 5 years ago. Every team has a team captain and a music director, and Richard was but he lives out west, right?
Yeah, he's in Colorado,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he used to fly in a little bit, but and when he had family in Boston, so it was easier for him then. But anyway, what else? Like what are you producing in the next month at
Oh,
54 Below or
that's a
elsewhere?
good question. So last night was 54 Below. In 2 months, I'm doing a show. It's kind of a weird show or an unusual show. Ultimately it's a video project that I've been working on for the last several years, based on the Decameron, which is a collection of 100 stories from the 14th century. This is and it's a group of people fleeing the Black Death. And telling one another stories to entertain themselves along the way. So my collaborators and I have decided to do a similar thing with story songs, and it is a COVID lockdown tale of songwriters getting together to play story songs for one another in a not in a villa in Tuscany, but in a Zoom villa.
Oh no, I love it. I mean, it's just don't do like some of the things Pasolini did in his movie. You'll be
Right, we're
perfectly
not doing
fine.
any of that. I never
Yeah.
saw it, but we're not doing any of that.
Yeah.
But that's at the Triad on November 17th. The Triad's a club on
Oh,
72nd Street here.
sure. These are not
Then
such
in
tiny clubs. 54 Below and Triad are like pretty major in New York cabaret nightclub circles. So yeah.
uh, and then in December, I'm affiliated with a theater called Urban Stages. I'm actually the president of the board, and for they do we do a festival every year called Winter Rhythms. It's 20 shows. Now, I used to produce that festival. I gave that up when I became board chair, but I still produce individual shows within that Winter Rhythms series. So I have two concerts in December. One is a songwriter showcase, and the other is called Songs of Hope. That's a tradition I started about 5 years ago. So we annually close the festival with hopeful songs.
Now, speaking of hopeful songs, our last question for Tom Toast is tell us about the playlist thing that you put together that people can listen to. What do you do? What is that?
Right. So one of the things that everybody's clamoring to do is to get their songs promoted, and Spotify has all these playlists, and there are playlists that Spotify curates, and then there are people who curate playlists, and on and on and on it goes. I, as a songwriter, got tired of trying to find my way onto other people's playlists, and I said, I'm going to do this myself. Seize the means of control, the means of production. So I curate a Spotify playlist. It's a monthly playlist, just 10 songs, just
Hmm.
10. And the idea, the gimmick is that they're songs written by people that I have met. Now, I have met a few famous songwriters and well-known songwriters, but most of the ones that I've met are not famous. But it's just 10 song lists that I ask
Your
my
acquaintances, your
email.
friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I, I,
Well,
pro- I
and the lovely thing is 10 songs, it's like what a record album used to be. You know,
right.
14 minutes aside, you were done in a half an hour, you could digest it rather than like 78-minute CDs and
That's
everything
the
goes on
idea.
forever. Yeah, I
That's
love
the
that.
idea. And I always put two of my songs on because,
Right.
altruism only goes so far. So there's always 10 songs. And the one exception to the fact that I have to know the songwriters is I always put a song on by Taylor Swift. And the
Okay.
reason, and I have never met Taylor Swift. I would love to meet Taylor Swift. I'm probably never going to meet Swift, but I love her stuff. So I always put a song by Taylor Swift on.
Well, I hope you get to keep doing that forevermore. Is that the name of the album? What was her?
Oh, Evermore, you're right.
Evermore,
Evermore.
Evermore. Ah, I blew the joke. I'm sorry. Arg. But not sorry that we've had Tom Toce back in the neighborhood. Check out his Spotify playlist. Look for his name as producer of these cabaret shows at, as you said, the Triad 54 Below. And what else? One more
I
thing, I
should
think.
say, yeah, the Spotify playlist goes by the brand Songwriter in the House. Everybody's got to have a brand, so it's Songwriter in the House. Look for that on Spotify. And Dave, I just wanted to congratulate you on your 1,000th episode. That's such an achievement, and you've been doing it for how long?
24 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's something for me to aspire to.
I hope you do. I hope you get there. And that, again, we're thrilled to have you as our songwriter in the house on Dave's Gone By.
Thanks, Dave.